In my attempt to make the traveler's notebook work for me, I might have to do one thing. Let me explain. Hi, friends, it's Mari from Mari Haraya Archives, and today, so if you've watched my last video of my traveler's notebook where I explained how I kind of struggled with using it despite loving the brand, despite loving the notebooks. And I took this past weekend to really figure out like why it's not working for me. And honestly, I think the main reason why, is I just like smaller notebooks. My passports, I love. I feel like I use them more than the standard size. Now, mind you, I do have the standard size that I'm currently using that I really, really love, and that it will never become anything other than this size, like this one here, which is my olive one that I absolutely love. And then this one as well, which is my very first um, traveler's notebook, and it's the Ace Hotel, and this has a lot of memories. So I feel like these two are the only two standard size traveler's notebook that I can use. And this one right here is, it holds all of my household information. So the size for it works for it, because honestly, I don't go into it as often. So it kind of sits on my shelf. And then this one is for junk journaling. Now, um, I do like to not junk journal, but I do want to do that more often. But um, I do like to do happenings or like events. So I do have this for that. And I guess, to make a long story short, if you haven't watched my other video, I'll put it in the cards over here so you can kind of catch up on it. But I had a huge collection of Traveler's Notebook, and I drastically downsized because it was just getting way too overwhelming. And so I even hacked a few of my Traveler's Notebook to make it work for me. And what I mean hacked is, like, for example, I use the Hobonichi Weeks in my daily journaling. And so what I ended up doing was cutting down a Traveler's Notebook and making it a cover for my Hobonichi Weeks. And it's like one of my favorite things. I love the look of it, and I feel like this will grow with me throughout the year, because this is the only Hobonichi Weeks cover that I had cut down for it. So, and year after year, I've been adding things on here. Like this one, I just recently added this patch. All of these were added when I first cut this down, but I can just foresee it getting more personalized over the years. So that got me thinking, as much as I love the Traveler's Notebook, how can I make it work more into my daily life so I can use this huge collection of inserts that I've acquired? And I have a lot. And so I know, for example, my passport size are more likely going to be used by me because of the size of it. So I already use it for a monthly to go. Like, I kind of swap out between this one and my Louis Vuitton agenda. And so it has its purpose. And then this right here, recently, I actually made this into um, it's like a beauty book. Like, I kind of swatch like my nail polishes, but I think I don't have a lot of nail polishes, so it's not like something that I'm going to be using over and over again, if you know what I mean. It's basically if I get a new nail polish, which is kind of rare nowadays because I already have a big collection, and I don't really use a lot of nail polish. So again, trying to figure out how to make this work. And so what I have decided to do, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you what my plans are, but the main focus is these two, and we'll get to that. Okay, first things first. So I know I said this is going to be, this was my beauty book, but I have decided, and I will go more into detail in another video for this because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. But my main thing is I do have a tea journal that I want to, I mean, it's appropriate, right? It's a Starbucks passport size traveler's notebook. And I was like, why am I not using this as a tea journal? Because currently right now I'm using this as a tea journal. And I think the problem is that I keep buying notebooks. I keep buying notebooks. I mean, that is the main reason why I have not been using my traveler's notebook, is because I keep buying notebooks. And I think the reason why I keep buying notebooks is because, as much as I love the pretty inserts, it's thin. There's not a lot of paper in it. And the thing with me is I love tiny notebooks, but I also love chunky tiny notebooks. So I think that is another reason why I keep abandoning the traveler's notebook, is because of the inserts, the size of this, and the fact that journaling wise, I don't like to journal in these because it's not too many pages. So my solution is to use this for different subjects. Okay, so like I said, my tea journal. So I'm going to convert this instead of my little beauty book because, like I said, I won't be using it as often, but I'm trying to utilize my traveler's notebook more. And so my solution to that, to make this into a daily thing, is to convert it into my tea journal. So that would mean that, excuse a little noise in the background. It's a little water heater telling us that it's done. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm going to convert this traveler's notebook into my tea journal, and that will make me have this little passport size notebook daily in my life. And so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use these inserts because I've had these and it is perfect. So I will do that. And so just wanted to mention that. I will go into another video discussing this whole setup. Okay. And then my next attempt, right, is, do I have it over here? Okay, let me go grab it really quick because I thought I had it here, but it might sound a little echoey. But so what I decided to do, and remember, I said the main reason why I haven't been able to use the Travis notebook daily in my life is because of the fact that I keep buying new notebooks. And the reason behind that is because, again, the inserts. It's like a vicious cycle. So right now I'm reusing this Hobonichi A6 2024 Hone as my social media YouTube planner. So this houses like my schedule for when my videos release, what I release, and so forth, what I'm doing each day. And so because I'm reusing this, I don't really have a full year left in this book, because I think I used a lot of pages in 2024 up until March. And so I'm going to run out of space. So my solution to, again, add the Traveler's Notebook to my daily thing is that once I'm done with this, I'm going to use this. Now, this is a traveler's notebook that I had already cut down. This is a original Midori traveler's notebook. And what this was originally was a sticker book. These housed my sticker release books that I had put in here. Now, the reason being is because in my old house, I didn't have like a room or studio like now that I have. And so having everything kind of ready to go, because I would have everything in a journaling bag. So this was super convenient. But now that I have my own space, I don't really have a use for this. And I'm not going to go too much into detail because, again, I will just create another video for this. That way we could focus on this. But I was thinking I can make this my social media notebook. That way, because I just feel like my plan was to buy another one of this for the new year once I run out, like a 2025 or 2026, because I do really love these books. But again, I have this and I've invested so much in my traveler's notebook that I'm just going to have to not do that, not buy another one of these and work with these, because technically this isn't something that like I archive. I mean, I guess yes, but it's not like a journal. This is more of a planner. So it's not something that I'm like, oh, I have to have everything in one year or everything in one book, like I like with my journals. So I'm going to use this. And like I said, I had already cut this down, and I cut it down to about an A6 size, which, yeah, which is perfect, because I was going to cut another one, but I was like, you know what? I can use this. And so I'm going to use this. And what I'm just going to have to do is I do have inserts, not my special inserts, but just the regular, normal, blank inserts. And then also there's like the weeklies, and they have monthlies as well. But again, I'm not going to get the monthly weekly, because what's going to happen is I'm going to end up cutting this down to fit this. So I'm going to actually cut this. And so a weekly or a monthly planner would not work in it, because then I'm cutting it off. So definitely what's going to have to work is just a blank one that I have plenty of, and that I may have to just draw in my monthly calendar, which is fine, because what I usually use is just my monthly and my weekly, or not weekly, daily pages for that. So that is my solution to that. Again, more on that in another video, because I feel like it deserves its own little video. So that is another way. So I've been doing a lot of work trying to really figure out how to make the Traveler's Notebook work in my life. So I'm pretty proud of it. And then I actually was thinking, what else in my life that I use on a daily basis that I can incorporate the Traveler's Notebook and actually utilize some of my covers. Now, okay, so again, passport, love it. I'm going to keep it as a passport. Now, this is what I have realized, and I think maybe I was in denial, or maybe I just wasn't seeing it because I'm too close to the project, I guess. But just the other day, I thought, you know what? I had cut down this traveler's notebook to fit my Hobonichi Weeks, because the Hobonichi Weeks is the journal that I love to journal in. And I thought to myself, why don't I do the same thing for this? Now, if you haven't seen my other video about this, this is an A7 Midori MD notebook, and it is the cutest little notebook. It is super tiny. It is one of my favorite notebooks, and I use this for my to-do list, my grocery list, when I menu plan. Everything is in there, and I just love this little book. I just love MD notebooks in general, and so definitely this will always be in my life. I'm actually super excited for this to be filled up so I can buy a new one. But what I wanted to do is, I thought I was looking for a cover for this. Now, this does come with a clear cover, but I like leather. So I did find this cover from Amazon, which is really nice. I do like it. They even have a black one. And I thought, this is where it's going to hurt. Well, I want to say hurt, because you know what? It's okay. I have hacked down my notebooks, my traveler's notebooks, to make different things that I need in my life. And guess what? Even though I cut it down, I made it into other items that I actually now use all the time. So I'm not going to regret this. I know I'm not going to. I think the only thing that I was a little bit hesitant is because my family of travelers notebooks are my absolute favorites. And I'll talk more about that, but this is what I'm planning to do is I want to create a cover just like this. And I have a couple more of these elastics, but I want to make a cover just like this, but using this. So what does that mean? Yes, I am going to end up cutting it. I am going to cut it to make a cover like this. Okay. But hear me out. This is how I decided which cover I'm going to cut. Now, like I had mentioned in my other video, my collection does hold a lot of not rare, but kind of hard to find covers. For example, I do have, okay, so these were in the running of which covers I was going to cut, right? So technically, I have these. These are all my standard size, I believe. I believe so. I'm looking around. I think, yeah. So these are all my standard size. Okay. Now, not the hard part, but I really had to do some process of elimination to figure out which one I'm going to cut. Now, obviously, this one is not happening because one, this is the first edition olive, and two, I've already customized it, and three, it has its purpose. I'm using it as a happenings journal, junk journal. So this stays put. This is not getting cut, right? And so the second one was, definitely this was not going to get cut because this was my very first traveler's notebook, and this holds a lot of memories because this went to we did the Baumkuchen Truly Yours event with the TSL, and they personally customized it for me, and so that's not happening. So that was off the chopping block, right? Okay, so that was off the chopping block. So what was left was these three. Now, what's special about these three is one, this is the one from the Narita Airport, and you can only get it from Narita Airport. This is the first edition Pan Am Traveler's Notebook, so it's the first blue edition, which, again, a little bit hard to find, and it might be really expensive. And then third would be this one right here, which is a camel. The special thing about this is an early camel, and so this was made pre-2015, and so it's a different color. As you can see, it's a lot lighter. Now, okay, this is where I was like, okay, so if I'm looking at these three, which three am I willing to cut? And honestly, I didn't want to cut this one because it was really hard to find this specific one. So I said, okay, not that one. Now, this too, I said, you know what? I can't do this one because A, it's the first edition Pan Am. Cannot. So I'm left with this one. And at first I was like, oh man, I really love this one. And then I realized that it's perfect because I love it so much and it doesn't have a purpose. I have not used this since I bought it back in 2018. So that just tells you, like, I haven't, even though I love it, I haven't had a use for it. And two, this isn't specifically a rare traveler's notebook. You can find this still at the airport. So if I really needed this size again, I can find it and I can purchase it somehow. So this is how I decided, okay, this will be the one that I will be chopping up. Now I'm super excited because of the graphic. Now I am, so I don't need this insert here. I would have to deconstruct this stuff. So again, this right here, I will actually put this in my Starbucks one because I believe this is the Starbucks one, maybe. Anyway, so here we go. This is it right here. So this is what I'm going to cut. Okay, don't cry because guess what? I haven't used it since 2018, and guess what? With me cutting it, I will be using it every single day. So I'm going to use this as a template. Now I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this because A, there is a break, or this is where it's folded, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys over to my craft table. Okay, that way we could kind of assess how we're going to get this done. And you know what? While we're here, I want this charm. I don't want to bring it out there because I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to cut it. So this is a little, I think it's a sakura flower. Super cute. I'm going to add that to my, let me put this right here so it doesn't get lost. All right. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to take this. And then, all right, let me take you over to my craft table. Okay, we are back. So hopefully it is not too echoey as far as sound quality. We are in outside of the studio, and my living room has really high ceilings, so it might be echoey. So hopefully it's not. All right, so we got our A7 MD notebook that we are going to cut this for that. I got my scissors, my little template, and then the traveler's notebook that I'm going to use. Now, before we get into the supplies that I'm going to use, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct this, meaning I'm going to go ahead and take everything out that I'm not going to use. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and take this. Now, I was wondering when I was going to actually release this video. And honestly, I think I'm going to release it this week, only because since I am currently making it right now, which is in real time, Tuesday, and most likely you will see. So all we're going to do is I kind of want to save as much of this elastic as one piece versus smaller pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right here. But you're probably going to see this new cover in some of my videos, and I don't want to be any confusion like, where did you get that cover from? So I'm going to release this so you guys know. If you guys do end up seeing it in my future videos, that is because we're doing this. Okay. So first things first, let me lay out the tools that I'm going to use. First things first is you want to have a healing mat. This is a large one. I don't even know what the size is. It's 24 by 24. And it's a rotary mat. It's also called a healing mat by Alpha. Now this is a must because whenever you're cutting through things, since it's a self-healing mat, it's not going to go through. So very important that you have something like that. And they have different sizes. You don't have to get this big of a size. I just prefer a big mat. Okay, next thing I do have is my scissors. You guys saw that. And then I also have my trusty toolbox. This is a Toyo. I don't want to but it's a Toyo toolbox, and this houses all of my leather making tools, so to speak. So let's get into this. And so what you will see that it opens just like this. Actually, it's probably better that way. And what I have in this are the different screws that I like to use. And I don't really like the ones that you have to kind of like hammer in. So I prefer, hold on, let me show you. I prefer the ones that you screw in. I think it's just a lot easier, but they look like this. And so these are the rivets that I like to use, and you just basically just kind of, it screws on like that. Really easy, simple process. Don't want to make it too difficult for myself. And so I have different sizes. I have a smaller one, oops, And I have some snaps in here and some wax thread. So it's nice to have this little leather making kit all in one spot. So again, you know, I love my storage boxes. And these are little, I don't know what you call these, but I figured I could probably use this somehow. Don't know how, in what form, but. And then inside, I have this tool, which is what I use to punch holes in the leather. So it's a leather puncher or hole puncher. So they have different sizes. So this is what I use. So I'm going to be needing this. I have a piece of wood here for if I need a hammer or anything. So that's in there. And in here are, and I don't know where I got these, honestly, but they work perfectly for what this is for. But this is where I hold all my leather stamping tools. So I have this one. This has like a cursive font. And then this one, again, it houses more. And I actually, these came separately, but they always come in this foam. And so I just was able to kind of fit it really pretty in these storage boxes. I don't know. I guess storage boxes really, I'm a storage box whisperer. And then this one right here, which is a really cool toolbox. This is from, I don't know what it's called. I don't even remember where I got it from. My Smith, Old Smith, the tool for everybody. It says Old Smith Hardware Co. It's made in Pennsylvania. So there you go. And this is like the cutest little, and actually this kind of matches. Let me go grab it really quick. My little other tiny container that I have. My little toolbox. As you can see, I love toolboxes. I think they look so great and work perfectly as storage. But here's my other tiny container, little toolbox, and then here's this one. So it's so cute. Okay, and then this houses my little different tools that I need to like stamp things or to poke holes. So this houses all of that, and I just put a bunch of felt in there so it doesn't like scratch up or anything, but that's what I have for that. Okay, so I think for this project I definitely will need this, and then I don't know if I'm going to be stamping anything, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll just put everything back because I don't think I'll need that right now. Oops. Okay. But I do have my, sorry. I do have this, which is my repair kit. So I'm definitely going to need this. And then I do have my little toolboxes of little pins to decorate. So that will be kind of like the last step. And this as well. So, but I have that on standby. And I also have this right here that houses my brass labels if I'm going to end up putting that on there. I'm not sure. I don't really have a plan right now. I am going with the flow and see where my creativity takes me. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so obviously this is what we're going to use the cover for, and this has worked out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as a template. So now I'm going to try to figure out what I'm going to, or how I'm going to do this. So at first, because this is like, I could either do it this way, but then again, you see it's not centered. And then not only that, the spine is kind of not where it needs to be. So if I want to do it exactly where the spine is, I'm going to cut out some of that graphic. And I don't want to do that. So the next thing to do is to go this way. Now, I feel like this would probably be the best way to do it. Now, if I'm looking at this, I could probably do it from this side and not have to cut this. I would just have to cut here, right? And so now I guess the tricky thing is to center it to where I want the graphic to be. And so I know that the spine is right here. So I probably might have to cut it a little bit short and then do that. I think that might make more sense, but first things first, we're going to have to cut this. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Okay, so this is the reason why I love these kinds of mats, because it has all the lines and it makes it easy to make sure everything is lined up. So that is what I'm doing. So this has like a handy dandy little square here, and all I'm doing is just kind of lining it up. Now, not a perfectionist when it comes to my crafts because I get really impatient, but I will try my best to make this even. Okay, I forgot to mention the other things that I need is a ruler. So I am using this long Omni Grid ruler, which I like because it's easy to push down the material you're working with underneath, so it has a tight grip. And then next thing I will be using is a rotary cutter. Now there's different kinds. I have a whole bunch because I'm like that. I like options. And then I have smaller ones, but I prefer using this one for now. And I don't even know if I need to change out the blade on this, but we'll see when we start cutting into this leather. All right, you guys ready? All right, first things first. Now I want to save as much leather as I can when I'm cutting this. So, I mean, technically I can just go straight down in the middle of the spine, or I can just go ahead and do this and cut it where it needs to be cut. So I'm thinking we could probably do that. Now, this, again, here I am trying to make sure. It's nerve-wracking. Even though I've done this so many times, every single time I'm like, All right, so what I like to do is I like to line up the lines on the ruler with the lines of the mat, just so I know I can get a straight line. Now, when I am looking at this, it is literally not on a line, because why would it be? So we can make my life a little bit harder. And so let us, now, do I just go free floating and ignore the lines? Let us, okay. I think that looks good as far as it being centered, and I think we're good. I mean, do I give myself a little bit allowance just to be safe? Let us, okay. This is real time, guys. I am trying to figure this out. Okay, I think, you know what? I think what's throwing me off are these things. Let's take it off. I'm getting nervous because my hands are starting to sweat. I have a little handkerchief here to wipe my hands. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm not too worried about where this is going to be right now because we'll do that in the next step. But I just want to make sure that we are good with the lining. This video might be long, but okay. I think we are good. I think this is a good. All right, and I'm just checking my lines here to see if we are straight, and I think we are good to go. Oh gosh. I think we're good. I think that is good. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna move this out of the way. You guys ready? I'm just putting a little bit more pressure and just kind of going down the line really slowly. And we did it, guys. Ooh, that made me kind of nervous. Look, I'm sweating. My hands are sweating. Okay. All right. We did it. We cut it. This is what's left, and I will definitely make something of this, and we'll do this in another video because this is definitely going to be. All right. So now that we have this, now we're going to figure out where we want to cut this. Now, this isn't see-through, so it's kind of hard. So let's see. All right, let's do it this way. Okay. Now, you guys, this is like not very, what's the word? Accurate. I'm literally trying to find the best way to cut this. I think that would be the best. So that's the spine, and that's where it's going to end up. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? Okay, so that's where it's going to be, and then that's where it's going to end, kind of right on the. I feel like there's a little bit more space, so I can probably bring it down just a little bit to give it a little bit more space on this side. Okay, we're just going to do it. Leave that there. Okay, thankfully this is actually on a line. Wait, are we even? You guys, I'm sweating here. I mean, I don't typically sweat when I do this because I'm on camera. Let me put this on a line. Let's use this line because this isn't a cut line, and we'll do it like that. Okay. And going to kind of do it that way. Okay. Are we good? Are we set? Okay. Here we go. Oh, I moved it. Shoot. Okay, we're here. We're there. Let's see, just want to make sure if it's too close. Just a little bit. I can't tell where this moves, so I'm thinking probably move it just to the left a little bit. Okay. I feel like this is the hardest part. Okay, I'm just aligning right there. All right. Here we go. One. We're going to use this because look, I can make this into a tiny something. Okay. Let's flip this around. All right. And I just want to make sure. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Going for it. I just want to make sure my... Okay. Just gotta go, just gotta make it fast. So we got another strip. So what is left of this is I have this piece, that piece, and that piece. And trust me, this will not go to waste. So stay tuned to, we're going to figure out what we're going to use this, but we'll do it in another video because this is going to make it a very long video. All right, here we go. Moment of truth, you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, not bad. It's a little bit off-centered, but it's all good. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to be like this for this. So how we're going to do that, I am actually going to actually just do the same thing as this one. So it looks good in there. It looks flushed, right? Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Okay. I'm getting excited. So I'm just kind of just molding. Do this because my hands are sweaty. So I'm just going to do this just so I can kind of make the book. Okay, you guys. All right, so we're going to use these little bands. Ooh, you see that? It's kind of caving in, but maybe it won't do that once I put the notebook in. All right. Or I might have to use a different elastic. Maybe this is too strong for it. Yeah, let's try that. Or we can use it as a like a traveler's notebook style. All right. Let's see. I'm just doing this just for trying it out before I start making holes in this thing. So I could either mimic this style with elastics on both ends. So let's try that first and see how that would work. So if I would do that, and then I would need another one. And let's go into my little repair kit here. And then just grab, I don't know, I think that's good. Okay. I love this blue color. It is a navy blue, which is beautiful. Oh, too big. definitely don't want to rush the process. I think maybe because I am filming, I feel like I have to make it fast, but I forget you can edit and cut down some steps. But I feel like you guys want to be with me in real time, unless I'm like struggling just right now. Okay. All right, let's put this here. So if we do it like this to mimic the other one, let's see how it looks. So if I take my little notebook, I mean, that works, but I feel like obviously this needs to be closed. So I would need another, what do you call it? I would need another elastic, and that's a lot of elastics to be putting on there. So my next thing that I'm thinking I can do, okay, this has its own clear cover. Let me go grab it. I'm gonna go grab it really quick. And it is here. Okay, so here is the clear cover. Now, with the clear cover, is it going to be too big? Ooh. Oh no, let's see. But either way, I feel like, all right, let's see. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I want to see what my options are. So I can do that, and I'm going to poke a hole here in the middle. So let's do that first. Let us poke a hole in the middle. Now, there is really no scientific method for me to do this other than eyeballing it, because that is sometimes the way I do things. Now, do I want it in the back or do I want it in the spine is the question. I think I'm going to do it in the back only because how I'm going to do that, and I don't want any bulk here. So all I'm doing is I just folded it how, and then I think that's probably like the middle. I think that is. So I'm just kind of marking it with my scissors. No scientific method whatsoever. Now, these things do not reach. And what did I end up doing? Oh, I actually have my little hole. But you know what? Sometimes if I can make this work, I would. Okay. Now, if I can remember how to think, how big is this hole? I'm thinking, I'm just kind of looking at the size of this hole. I think that's a good size. So I think, because I am trying not to like take out all my tools, but if I can just kind of roll it like that, maybe I can get to this little, yep, okay. I got to the center of it. So I am just going to press it down. And there we go. We have a hole. There we go. You see it? It's right there. Okay, so let me, just going to test this out. Okay, so there we go. Now, obviously, or we can do it this way. I think I like that way. Yep, I think I like that way. Okay, so see, I didn't need my other tools, so I just ended up just bending the leather. So that looks cute already. Now, the thing is how I'm going to put this book in there. And I did not account for I mean, technically I can still do it the way we first did it, but if I went ahead and added some jump band right here, then it would work out. So, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to, I mean, I can probably, no, because I didn't account. I was going to say I could probably sew something here so I can just kind of do this, but I can't do that because we did not account for sewing, and that's not going to fit. So I think the best thing to do is either be okay with just kind of keeping it like that in there, and obviously I will just cut the excess so it's not so, but doing that and doing the same. You know what, now that I have this on, let me try using this elastic. I feel like because it's, I know it's kind of tight, let me just kind of, I can always buy another elastic because I feel like this elastic really held down the book. So let's see if this works. But then but I think the reason why this worked for that is because this is a pretty heavy, stiff notebook, and so this is kind of bending. Okay, so that's not going to work. I don't like how that looks. My other option would be to, because I don't know how this would be if I actually jump band this like this. I mean, that's not too bad, but I just hate that has that. And if I added, now this is, I'm just for an example, if I had the jump band in there. I mean, that works by itself, right? Decisions. Or what I can do, so I don't manipulate the notebook itself, I can actually put it in here. Just like so. And then, let me put this in here. Oh, no, not that way, this way. So what I just did was I just put the jump band on the clear case versus the book. And so it is kind of bending it a little bit. There we go. Which is okay. I don't mind it bending. That is really not my concern. And then I can actually jump band it here. You know, I would put like that, and then it would be like this. And then it would be like that, but it's kind of sticking out. I mean, I think that's okay. I think it adds to the look of it. What do you guys think? So definitely I need to go ahead and add a jump band on there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add the back of this. So we've already gotten that. So now we want to add the holes here. And I'm just kind of going to mimic this. But again, I am not going to add the little circle thing here, the little metal piece. I don't think it's necessary. So what they have here is 2 jump bands. And let me actually go grab the other ones that I've made to see what I did. It's been a minute since I created, okay, that's not it. Let's try No, that's not one. I would say this one. Okay. Here we go. Here's one that I didn't add, but as we can see, here's one that I did cut down, and then this is what I ended up doing. I just had 2 holes here and then 2 holes here. So, yeah, I actually just cut this one here myself. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mimic that. So we need 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Okay. Now here is where math, I won't say math, but let us figure out where we're going to put these. I'm just going to, okay, so I know that my middle part is right here. So I'm just going to kind of very accurately just scratch it down there. So I know where my middle is. Okay. So I know that's my middle. And I'm going to go ahead and mark my holes. Just going to line this up. Okay. So I guess to make it like even, do 1, 1. You guys, I don't have let's do, my husband's a lot better at measuring things than I am. I am more of like, oh, this looks good. This is where I'm going to put it. That is just how I roll. I eyeball things. So that is the center. We'll probably do 1 hole here. And then like, how far apart should I make this? I think that's a good. So I have that. Okay. So maybe I'll do it right here. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're doing, so how far is this from the top? So it's 1, 2, 3 notches. Is it 1, 2, 3? 2 notches. So we're going to do the same here. Sorry guys, I don't have like a specific way of doing this other than going with the flow. So I have 2 here, and then I went 1, 2. I went like that. I think that is the, especially when you're dealing with like small notebooks, just trying to figure out like in between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there. Okay. I think I need a pen to mark that before it starts. All right, let me go grab a pen because I should have had one. And I think this part will be easy because we're dealing with the edges. So my little hole puncher should. So we said we were going to cut right here and right here. And then we're going to cut right here and right there. Okay. So if you can see where I marked, and let us go with that. Okay. So we're going to stay with the same hole size. I don't think I changed it, or did I? And I am just going to plop it right over that 1 hole. You guys can see, I just plopped it right, and I'm just going to squeeze. And I like to do this to ensure that we got it. I usually have tweezers somewhere, but okay, that looks good. Next up is that 1 hole right here. Again, I just like to go side to side to make sure I there we go. My hands are so sweaty. Me, that works out. Yep. Okay, and then go ahead and cut the bottom one. And the second one. Okay, I mean, it's not like the evenest because like I said, I just eyeball things. Okay, so there we go. We've got our holes in place, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and snip the top and bottom ones, just like so. Okay. All right. I went ahead and cut that. All right, so let's go ahead and let us go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and I think I'll use the green. I like how the green looks on here. I think I have another one. But you know what? I don't know if I have another green because I like the green against that. So I'll use this blue one to, okay. So let us go ahead and put that aside. Oh, has this been here this whole freaking time? Yes. I'm gonna make sure I blur that out. Great. All right, and so we'll go ahead and I need a reference of what I did. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just kind of looking. Oh, okay. I see what I did wrong. So this goes here, and then this goes here. Okay. So what you want to do, we'll do this over again so I can show you, is you want to go ahead and insert the bottom, bottom top, right? And then, oh, okay, we're going to do that again. And then we're going to thread this like this onto the second part, the bottom, and then you're going to come across like this, and then you're going to connect it at the bottom. So that way you have the short one in there and then the longest part up top, which is where you're going to put your notebook in. So let me go ahead and pull this a little bit so it's a little bit more even. Okay, and then I'm going to, usually you would have that little middle piece to bind it, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot and it's good to go. So we got a knot just like so, and then here we go. Now let me go ahead and put this aside. Okay. There we go. So we have this nice little traveler's notebook that you can close like that. And it is super cute. Okay. Now we need to figure this out. And what I'm going to do, I think we said we're going to do this. So let me put this in here, which I feel like it's doing that. But let's see how it looks once I put the notebook inside. A lot of work to make this work for what I intended it for. So as you can see, this part right here is definitely folding. So maybe I can cut a little piece of it, or I can just let it fold onto itself. If you can tell, it's already because of the elastic, which I'm still okay with that. Again, let's just fold this in. Okay. So I think that will work for what I need it to when I'm out and about. I mean, it lays flat because it's just that small piece of leather. And I think that works. And like I said, the only thing is that this part right here, the plastic part, is bending because of the elastic is pulling it. But it's okay. I feel like because it's bending, it kind of gives it a little bit more stability. You see what I'm saying right here? And I think that's good. What do you guys think? I wasn't anticipating, because my thought process was this was going to hold it down. But because of the leather, it's not very stable. And but actually, I think this actually works right here. Now that I have the plastic, ooh. I think because I have the plastic cover on it, it makes it a little bit more stable, so I can actually put this here. And actually that works. So now when I open it, I can just open the, oh, I like this. Okay. Okay. I am good with that. I actually really like the feel of it. Again, I just need to manipulate this plastic just a little bit more so I can fold it down. But because I put that plastic cover on it, it gave the leather a more stable, so I can actually put these elastics on it. So now when I open it, I can open the notebook with it versus it being separated. So I think that works out. And actually, because that works, I might not even have to put this, oops. I might not have to put it in the elastic itself. Okay, one last thing to try out before, but I will definitely just keep that there just so, but I can just add these bands to here. Let me try it. And actually, I could probably put this all the way towards the back, maybe. Like right here. I mean, it gives it its look. Okay, let's try this one. And There we go. You put it like right there. And that actually works better than having the elastic here, which I'm still going to keep there just so I have options, but having this elastic actually works now because of the clear cover. It gives it a little bit more stability, and I actually love how it looks. I'll probably go like this. There we go. What do you guys think? I love it. I think this is going to be really cute to use for this notebook. And then it has a pen. Where is the pen? Oh no, where did I put the pen? Let me go grab the pen and see if it'll fit in here. It should. Where did I put the pen? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, this is perfect, guys. Okay. Kind of cheated. All right. So here's the pen. I mean, technically, I could probably just maybe hang it off somehow. I don't know. But because there's space right there, it fits perfectly. I'm super happy. Again, like I probably would have, like if I didn't realize I would put the clear cover, I would have cut this a little bit longer to cover it. But I actually don't mind the look. I don't know. It looks wabi-sabi, right? It looks good. I think it looks great. I love it. Okay, so that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little episode of me trying to cut down a traveler's notebook to fit this A7 notebook that I use on a daily basis, but I'm happy with it. I can now actually use this traveler's notebook for in my daily life, and so there's that. And then stay tuned, look out for more episodes because we are going to figure out what we're going to do with these the scraps, what's left over. I will probably decorate this a little bit more, maybe put a charm somewhere, not sure, but this video is already over an hour, so I will leave you with that. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Do you like the hack? Would you do something different? Like I said, I probably would have, if I would have known that I was going to use the clear cover, I should have counted for that. This would have been cut a little bit longer, but again, I actually don't mind how it looks. I am okay with how it looks. So let me know in the comments, did this hurt you with me cutting this? But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.